of Adar marks the Hilula of Rabbi Yaakov Rakach Z'tl Libracha. He was born right at the start of the 19th century in the English year 1800, and he passed away on the 23rd of Adar, to be precise, the 2nd of April in English year 1891. He passed away in Libya, Tripoli, respectively, over there. He'd become known as a very famous Rosh Yeshiva and one of the great rabbis of Libyan Jewish community. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he actually came from great rabbinic auspices. His father's name was Rav Shlomo, and I believe he was a descendant or grandson of Rabbi Masud Chai Rekach, another great rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. I believe he was a Turkish rabbi from Izmir, respectively, and would actually, one window of time, would go to Eretz Israel. His ancestor, Kamishluchei Darabanan, for the community of Libya, respectively, and was very, very famous, known for his book called the Maaseh Rekach, respectively. So he was a descendant of this great rabbi. Now, it's actually interesting enough. I think this book, the Maaseh Rekach, was actually on the Rambam, respectively, over there, and very, very much interesting. Okay, now, he would become a very, very famous posek. Rabbi Yaakov would become authoring about 40 Sfarim during his lifetime, which we are going to speak about as the Shir progresses. So, as we said before, Shlomo Rekach was a great grandson of Masud Rekach, and which has been able to say, I think Yaakov would have a brother known as Rav Tzion, who was a great Torah scholar also. And at that point in time, many of the Tripoli-based rabbis, including Rav Rekach, did not wish, let's say, to be supported by the community, the Kehillah, and they would rather live like a more simple life rather than taking like support in of itself. It's reported he actually worked also as an accountant, while at the same time he became excelled and greatness in Torah in of itself. He was also a great posek at that point in time, arbiter of Jewish law. He had a huge depth of knowledge and was exemplary. His halachic opinions usually relied, let's say, on many tens or occasionally over 100 poskim who preceded him. It's reported over that his halachic opinions are still cited even today, very much so. I think there's a Sidur Od Avinu Chai, which is published by Machon Hai, if I'm not mistaken, is based on his emendations to the Nusach and the laws of Tefillah, of prayer, for the Sephardic Jews, for the Spanish Jews, respectively, over there. It's actually reported over that Rabbi Rakach founded at his own expense Yeshiva Rabbi Yaakov Tripoli, which I think housed more than around approximately 1,000 books and various different manuscripts in of itself. And I think this yeshiva was especially by nighttime, and many of the craftsmen gathered there to learn the Torah, weekly Torah portion on Shabbat, respectively. And it was reported that the yeshiva would be destroyed by a bomber during the Second World War. Now, in the year 1863, at that stage in time, he'd be about 63 years of age, he would publish the third volume of his great-grandfather's halachic work, the Maaseh Rekach, very great work in of itself. His cousin, and I think the contemporary, Rav Avram Chaim Adadi, who was a great-grandson also of Rav Masud Chai Rekach, published the second volume of the Maaseh Rekach in the year 1862. That would have been 1 year before. He was a contemporary, let's say, of many great rabbis in Tripoli and in various other countries. From his writings, it's the brilliance and the evidence that he would had a close correspondence with the famous Rabbi Chaim Pelagi and Rabbi Benjamin Pontremoli. The first one, Rabbi Chaim Pelagi, definitely was arguably one of the most famous Turkish rabbis in Jewish history. And Rabbi Pontremoli was also a great Turkish rabbi and a poet also, and a member of, let's say, this dynasty of the Pontremoli family. He happened to be, I think, the author of the Petach Adveh. In Tripoli, his contemporaries include various different great rabbis, including the famous Rabbi Rajal Dabush, Rav Shalom Ajib, Rav Yosef Ruben, and various other great rabbis. Now, it's reported over that Rabbi Yaakov Rakach would have two sons, Rabbi Abraham Rakach and Rabbi Chamus Rakach. Great rabbis, I think we've mentioned about various occasions before. It's reported over that in various different Libyan moshavs, so let's just say, in Eretz Israel, they would commemorate his Hilula every single year in those vicinities, and various different synagogues also. Let's explore some of the great books that he left us, including the Sha'arei Tefillah, which was printed in the year 1870. He was alive at that point in time, around 20 years before he passed away. This was a sefer that concentrated, let's say, on the laws of Nusach and Minhagim. Then the Vayaged Yaakov, which was printed in the year 1869, based on the Hebrew month of Nisan, the Passover Haggadah, the counting of the Omer, Sfirat Omer, Birkat Ilanot, and Birkat HaChama. Then there was a Derech Hayim printed in 1860. Then the Pirsumei Nisa, which is also once again on the month of Nisan, and Haggadah. Shulchan Lechem HaPanim, which was divided into 7 volumes. There was notes and insights in the Code of Jewish Law, the Shulchan Aruch. Then the Mateh Tehillah, which is another great commentary on the Book of Psalms. The Kishurim Yaakov, which was printed in the year 1858, which is a collection, let's just say, of various different tefillot, ethical discussions. The Kol Yaakov, which was 1852, a commentary on the Torah. The Pri Etzadah, another great book on Tu B'Shvat. For example, Tov Le'odot, which is commentary on Psalms, the book of Tefillin. Then the Kolor Shel Yaakov, which is commentary on the Torah. Other great books include the Bikurim L'Hashem, Michtav Yaakov, Mini Merkachat, Ha'orach Mishor, Yeshuot Yaakov, and the Derech Yeshar. These are very, very great books in of itself. Now, it's actually interesting. We're speaking about Rabbi Yaakov Rakach. There was a large chain of great rabbis. Just like, let's look at one of the chains from Rabbi Masud Chai Rakach. He would have a son called Rabbi Yitzchak Rakach, and then a son after him, Rabbi Baruch Rakach. That would be the grandson. Then Rabbi Shlomo Rakach would be, and then he was the son of Rabbi Shlomo. And then Rabbi Abraham will continue this rabbinic dynasty. They were very, very much a famous Libyan family. We've spoken about various different Libyan families in of itself. They were part of the Ottoman Empire while he was around. He passed away in 1891, and I believe he was buried in Libya, respectively. I'm not too sure exactly where over there. He lived also in his generation. The famous Rabbi Shalom Agiv was also there, and I would recommend everyone to look into his magnanimous Sfarim. What a collection it was, respectively, and what a great amount of books. There was a Kol Shel Yaakov. I think that was actually respectively printed in Livorno, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Rav Shmuel ben Kiki will actually mention, and remember, he's a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before. I think another book, the Mikra Megillah, was printed way, way after he passed away, just recently, about 30 years ago, in the year 1993, which is a Perush on the Megillah to Esther, respectively. The Beit Av would also be another great book, which was, I believe, on Tisha B'Av, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see there was the greatness and the brilliance in his book, which we have to speak about maybe on another occasion also, because, including, and the yeshiva in of itself, absolutely phenomenal with the amount of books that there was, and we can learn much more about the rabbinic dynasty of the Rakach family in of itself. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Already in the series, we've covered nearly 850 rabbis already. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are more than 6,000 members at the moment. If you feel anyone is interested in watching any of these videos, please share the videos to other people. We can't stress this enough to other people, because, and if you happen to be related, please let me know. Now, just a word with regards to Rabbi Tzion Rekach, who was another great rabbi. He passed away in the year 1910, his brother did. I think he lived about 75 years of age. He was also a great rabbi and the author of the book called the Rishon L'Tzion, which is various different teachings. And that should be mentioned also. And he was author also of the Chidushim, the Pirusimei Nisa, the Derech Hayim, and the Tov Le'odot, respectively. I think this is very much connected with the Rabbi Yaakov Rakach who we're speaking about today. They had a connection, a strong connection, him and his brother, with regards to printing and writing books, and just brilliance with regards to Torah literature, and very much. Now, it's interesting, he would have a great nephew, Rabbi Yaakov, actually will be the grandson of Rav Tzion Chaim Rakach, would have been Rav Gabriel Rakach also. So there was great nephews also, as long as great people. So please don't forget to light candles in his memory. It's here today, 23rd of Adar. Wishing you blessings here from Israel. And we just came out of Shabbat, Parashat Vayakel, here in the city of Bet Shemesh, here in the land of Israel. And next week we are approaching Parashat Pekudei, and we will see the climax of Sefer Shemot. So wishing you all well, blessings from Israel, and take care.